Welcome back. It feels like a long time ago since we did the last episode of this Swift Horizons podcast. With Christmas and Q4, everything's been just manic all around. But I am delighted today to bring you episode 3, and we are joined by two extraordinarily special guests in the form of Elliot and Luke. Elliot and Luke, very, very warm welcome.
Thank you.
How are you both?
Very good. Never been better.
How was the trip down? I know, Elliot, you've probably come furthest today, I'd say.
Yeah, Thailand, Scotland, and then here. It's like a 6-hour drive.
Which
It was
has
all
been
right.
which has been your favourite place? Here, it's got to be here.
Yeah, got to be here. Leicester.
Yes, we are from Leicester, if you didn't know. So it's really great to have both of you here, and I kind of want to unpack both your journeys as an Amazon seller and kind of other avenues that you're going down as well. I know both of you are customers of C&K. I've known you both for quite a long time, and it's kind of just going to be great to have a little bit of a conversation if that works for you.
For sure.
I'll kind of work my way around. So Elliot, let's start with you first. Talk to me. How long have you been selling on Amazon, and how's it been going?
We've been selling on Amazon for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Profitable for 18 months. First year was a lot of lessons. We'll go with that. Free knowledge online, YouTube, bit of Twitter, TikTok, kind of led us down a bit of a rabbit hole, which we had to unpack. Ended up with a lot of bad stock.
Yeah.
Came on with Luke about, I think it was August 2023, and it's just gone up from there.
So when you say came on with Luke, talk to me about what you mean by that.
So Luke was going viral on TikTok, and we saw a lot of Luke's content, and Luke offered education.
Yeah.
So we thought we were a bit stuck, and we didn't know whether to trust Luke or to not trust Luke. It was a TikTok at the time, and we didn't know Luke personally, but we thought, right, we're going to bite the bullet. We really wanted to change. We weren't in a great place in our personal life. We thought, okay, we're going to make a change financially. Paid Luke his money. Turned out fantastic. Learned a lot and developed a lot.
Yeah.
And we've kind of kept in touch as we grew.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. And so that was, when did you say, September 2023?
Yeah, it was like September, October-ish.
So talk to me
like that.
about the journey from then. So you're talking about bad purchase decisions, as a lot of Amazon sellers do have in the early days. How's it been since then? What's your focus? Is it OA? Is it wholesale? Is it a mix of the two?
Our first year was wholesale.
Yeah.
And I won't mention any names, but it was all generic wholesalers.
Yeah.
The wholesalers that anyone can access. It was like an online application form. No brand direct or anything that we know of now. Nothing niche.
Yeah.
No page 10 on Google sort of jobs. Page 1, huge SEO, that sort of stuff. It all tanked, didn't make any money, and we just had problems with wholesalers as well, things coming damaged. We just didn't make any money.
Yeah.
Year 1, we basically broke even, possibly even lost, I don't know, 500 quid. Now our focus is 100% online arbitrage.
Yeah.
We do a tiny bit of wholesale if retailers want to wholesale to us.
Yeah.
But nothing deep in wholesale, mainly just an OA business.
And is that sourcing all that yourself, or have you got virtual assistants doing it for you, or?
We have one VA.
Okay.
Ironically, came through Luke.
Yeah.
Luke, just at the tail end of our mentoring, launched a VA agency.
Okay. Yeah.
And we thought, perfect, this is going to be a great way of scaling up. She's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Fantastic, very hardworking, very loyal, very good at what she does. And she produces a great amount of spend, to be honest. Works very hard, and she's learned a lot of how we want her to source through us helping her, and she's developed as we've developed. So we run one VA, and then it's myself and Sophie, who's here as well, my partner.
We can't see Sophie on
No.
camera. She's sat over there, aren't you?
So it's the three of us.
That's exciting. So do you do you do it from home, or have you got an office, or?
We have an office now.
Yeah.
We ran out of a spare bedroom for a long time, and a garden shed for packaging.
As most people do.
Yeah, exactly. At 2 different locations as well, 40 minutes away, so that wasn't an ideal travel. And we've recently taken on an office just to be able to expand, and whether we want any UK staff in the future, there's space there as well.
Have you got any on site?
Any on site?
a neon sign?
A neon sign? We don't.
You got one on the door, ESJ.
Yeah, we've got our own
plaque.
Yeah, we've got a plaque on the door.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about C&K in a minute, and I'll move to a new premises, and I'll say to the team, I really, really want a neon sign, a C&K neon sign. And at the we had a board meeting last week, and I was told categorically, no, you're not spending the money on a neon sign. But then two of the team, Jordan and Matt, came to me a few days later and said, because you're such a great boss, we want to buy you a present.
Oh,
And they sent me an order confirmation for a C&K neon sign. How cool
No
is that?
way.
That's so cool.
That is cool, isn't it?
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
very good.
So when you come to the new place, the first thing you see is a C&K neon sign.
That's
in
awesome.
bright pink as well.
We might need to get one now.
Yeah. You do need to get one. I'll send you a mock-up later. Wow, so okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, moving on to you, kind of give us a bit of background about your Amazon journey. When did you start? And
So started Amazon roughly just over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I actually took a mentoring when I first started, straight from the get-go. Didn't try it myself originally. I thought,
Yeah.
I need to scale this properly and quickly, sort of pronto. Didn't really enjoy what I was doing
Yeah.
with my normal job. Worked in construction. So if anyone here has worked construction jobs, not sure if you have, it's tough, especially in the winters. You get up in the morning, go to work, it's dark, come home, it's dark, tiring. Needed to sort of escape that, should I say, rat race. So I started Amazon, took a mentorship in funny enough, wholesale.
Yeah.
Didn't actually get on too well with wholesale, so I ended up pivoting probably after 6-7 months into online arbitrage. And fast forward 3 years, doing really well.
To talk a little bit about that original mentorship compared to what you do now. So Elliot just mentioned that you do mentoring yourself.
Correct, yeah.
Do you think you learned as much in that original mentorship so if you were to look back now, would you say actually that original mentorship was really good value for money, or would you say actually it could have covered a lot more?
Yeah, with what you just said, the latter of what you just said, it definitely could have covered a lot more. It was like a group of 40 people and the mentee or the mentor who would teach you.
Yeah.
Whereas now I've sort of changed the mentoring style to how I would have liked it originally. So
Yeah.
it's one-to-one, very personal. You actually speak to the mentor. There's not actually someone employing other people to do the mentoring, which it was the case for me. It
Yeah.
gave me a good foundation in Amazon, but it didn't allow me to scale too much. You were taught one sourcing method as well.
Yeah.
Whereas I teach you 6 different sourcing methods. So there's definitely a different style of mentoring, which I think has provided good value, as Elliot was singing my praises. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
It'd be
But
a bit awkward if you sat here.
No.
awful.
So yeah, that's great. So if you kind of look at the mentor piece, so you did your original mentoring session to learn Amazon yourself.
Yeah.
What about after that? Did you keep returning to that original mentor, or did you kind of network with other sellers and
Exactly that.
get to know Amazon a little
Yeah.
bit better through the network?
Exactly. Networking is key in this space, in my opinion. That's either through Twitter, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, 4 different platforms there that give you different types of information. And a lot of my sourcing methods, I've actually taught myself those sourcing methods just through reverse engineering free information online at a lot of these other places.
Yeah.
So you can get information from so many different places like behind paywalls, like I provide, or potentially the long route of spending months trying to figure out keeper filters, which that can be quite tough. But yeah, networking is very important. You can get a lot of value from
TikTok
that.
seems to be the one lately.
Mm.
That's what we found. So we've started to try and get a bit more presence, a bit more active on TikTok. And I know both of you are on TikTok, and
Yeah.
we all join in each other's lives. And I always see you guys with tens and tens and tens of viewers, and there's us with 2 or 3 viewers. What do you think the key to success is with something like TikTok and promoting your mentoring specifically? Do you tend to get kind of a good response rate from that?
I do, especially from the lives. I find get a lot of interest. I get a lot of people asking about prep centers as well. So 3 or 4 every evening when I go live, I'll get people asking about prep centers, and similar for mentoring. Not all of them follow through, but especially lives at the minute seems to be taken off for pushing out content for sure.
This is kind of probably an open-ended question to both of you. But so Elliot, you were starting at looking at doing Amazon, and Luke, you are a mentor for new Amazon sellers and existing Amazon sellers. What do you think? What made you go, right, I feel like I need a mentor now? And kind of flipping the question a little bit to Luke of, at what point would you say somebody needs a mentor as a new Amazon seller?
It depends on the circumstance of the seller.
Yeah.
So if they've got a full-time job, they haven't got much time, that's what the position I was in. So I went, right, I need a mentor straight away. I can't be losing my time trying to figure this out whilst I'm trying to work this job. I need the information right now. And if you've got a little bit of money behind you as well, I had a business before Amazon. I had a phone flipping business.
Yeah.
So I used to buy phones from Facebook, flip them onto direct buyers, etc. Saved up some money from that, put that into Amazon. So you've got a little bit of money behind you.
Yeah.
Definitely invest into some form of mentoring, in my opinion, would be the best way to do it, because it just scales you quickly.
Yeah.
The flip side to that is, you could go out it alone. There's probably enough free information out there to get you going, but could you scale it as quick by also taking a mentorship? No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I always say that I think your mentorships is undervalued. Like, I don't know how Luke offers what he offers, especially that you deliver the calls. It's like with Luke, who's a big seller. I don't know how you offer it, but for us, everyone asks, "Oh, who mentored you? Who mentored you?" From the point of taking a mentorship with the education behind a paywall, which was not a lot of money, we've just only seen growth from there.
Yeah.
And in our first year, we'd actually spent a whole year making no money. If we'd gone from day one with a mentor, then we would have seen that growth straight away.
Yeah.
From Luke's mentoring to leaving my 9 to 5 was 3 months.
And what do you look for in a mentor? So what made you go, I'm going to pick Luke to mentor me?
Some of it was price. I think if it's too cheap, you think, I'm not sure. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of not great names in the space with Amazon. I think there's a lot of people trying to just sell you a course.
Yeah.
I think with Luke, it was the consistency on the social media results, live results, so people refreshing sales or something like that. And especially when we'd be doing it a year, the kind of keywords to do with Amazon, you can kind of pick up on, has this person sold a product before?
Yeah.
You kind of have that, yeah, they definitely. I think with Luke, the authenticity in his content was just like, and the price, they were the two things.
All relatable stuff.
Yeah, super relatable. A lot of Amazon content. Luke living a nice life. You could see, and we were like, okay, this looks good.
Yeah.
And what Luke was earning at the time, I was thinking, I can't fathom earning that sort of money a month just in this job, not earning very much money, and I didn't like waking up and going to this job.
It's all genuine content, and not what you see sometimes of, look at my Lamborghini outside.
Yeah. It was the authenticity. I think was genuinely even over price.
Yeah.
I think it was the authenticity.
So looking kind of at, Luke, you've been doing Amazon just over 3 years, and Elliot, just you about 2.5. How has the scaling been? Do you think it's been a more challenging environment in recent months, in the past 12 months or so, being an Amazon seller, with more people coming onto the scene, with Section 3s, with counterfeit products, with all of these extra challenges and layers that are added? Or do you think it's been smooth sailing since day one?
I actually think since August, as many people know, there's been a VAT change in the fees for new sellers. I've seen a little bit of a drop-off in competition and sellers since August.
Yeah.
So if anything, I've seen listings open up a bit more, able to sell more units, go a bit more deeper on stock since August. And I think literally in January, I did a record month compared to any Q4 month. So
and that's positive, isn't it?
100%.
For established sellers that do this full time and do it seriously, actually to have those people that maybe undercut by a penny or so out of the picture.
Exactly, it's only good.
That just helps you scale and grow. What do you think?
100%. I would agree with Luke. We've spoken about this before. I think since August, I think I actually put people off groups.
Yeah.
Networking is very vital. I don't think networking in these big communities, there's a couple that are very legitimate, and I think they would genuinely add value. But some of these kind of cheaper end paywall, low ticket things on a subscription, and I don't think they add that much value. I've been in a couple, and I've left them after a month. They add a lot of anxiety to the scene, and I don't know how valuable. A lot of the time, the people that are in there that could add the value are making more money from the group, and that's where you need someone that's actually selling, like in the trenches with you, that can add the value.
How would you say your Q4 performance was? So Luke said he had a record January compared to Q4. Was that a similar picture for you, or was that a little bit different? January
was down for us. I think a couple of percent. Yeah, a couple of percent down for January. But a big January for us. We've record month on month for like months now, just by scaling. But January was big. Yeah, it was pretty big.
Yeah.
Considering January's spoken as a quiet month, it was pretty big.
You know what? We've noticed that as well. If I look year on year, we're probably 50 to 60% up year on year for units week on week, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Not anything like we would have expected. But it kind of shows how the landscape's changing, I suppose, and how people are seeing this now as an all-round thing rather than. I think historically we've seen it as, okay, January to September have been pretty consistent up and down, and then Q4, as everyone smashed Q4 out the window, whereas now it feels a lot more consistent throughout the months of everyone's making a real effort to make this a full time.
Is that what has inspired your move to a new premise? The 50%.
Yeah, I think the challenge we have is space, and people have kind of changed their buying habits a little bit. So we've got a lot more customers getting into wholesale. We've got a lot more OA customers that are doubling, tripling volume compared to what they were last year. We had the opportunity of, okay, so we're in Unit 2 at the moment, and Unit 3A became available for lease, and it's nearly 3 times the size of what we've got now. And literally next door, it will be opportunities like that don't come up very often.
No, perfect.
It's a bigger financial leap for us, but actually, if we've got sellers that are growing and it is becoming a more all year round thing now, that actually, if we don't take the leap, it will really kind of hamper the growth of the business.
Yeah.
So, as any business person would say, growing the business is the number one thing. And we genuinely believe a move to a new unit will really, really help that.
When do you think you'll be fully moved in?
8 to 12 weeks, I would say.
It's pretty good going. Good turnaround.
Quick. And it's, you guys are obviously coming to have a look around tomorrow. It's a much bigger space. I get a new office as well, which I'm super excited about. I'm my neon sign. And it's it's a really exciting move for us. And I just want, it's about innovation. Like I said in the last podcast, innovation, new ideas, creativity, and thinking a little bit outside the box of, I think we were speaking about this earlier. We're in a landscape now where there's a load of prep businesses coming on the scene. Everybody has the view of, I can do it cheaper, I can do it better. And that kind of sales pitch is always going to work to some extent to some people, but price isn't always everything. And it's about thinking of the next big idea. CK Logistics, touching on that. I've touched on it in the past few podcasts, but I'm really keen to kind of hear your guys' thoughts and how much you've saved by using the service compared to, so I know, Elliot, you were prepping yourself beforehand. Luke, you were as well, I believe. Like, I'm guessing shipping costs, especially from Glasgow, I don't know if that, Glasgow, Edinburgh, wherever you live, I don't know if that makes much of a difference, or if the shipping costs are more, but I'm guessing both of you, from UPS to using our direct service, which is the only direct to Amazon service in the UK that has a direct link with Amazon. When we talk to Amazon, Amazon know about us, and they see us as a trusted carrier, the only prep business in the UK that can do that. Sorry, that felt very salesy there. It's even talking on the camera. So talk to me, would you say you've noticed cost savings? Would you say it's cost neutral? How would you say that's been?
Do you want to go first on this?
Sure. 100% cost savings are big. I actually remember, Tom, you helped me make that transition. I didn't actually realise how much I was spending on UPS quite as much when I first went to you. I remember I went, might have been pay as you go, or your minimum pay tier, and UPS bill was £800 to £1,000 a month. And I remember you dropped me a Discord message and be like, "Look, you do realise if you pay 160 for silver, you can get it for 160 pounds. You save £700. I was like, okay, that is actually quite mind blowing.
Yeah.
To also not only get your shipping cheaper, but you're getting it next day delivery into Amazon. Sometimes same day delivery in stock in Amazon. So you're getting a head start on majority of the sellers, which is pretty crazy. And I tell people that in my lives as well, and they literally don't believe me. They think I'm trying to sell them Craner Kirkman tiers of
one thing I love about Luke, he calls us Craner Kirkman.
Yeah. Craner, sorry.
In all of the lives, I watch all the lives, and it's Craner Kirkman's here.
No, do you know what? I had to remind myself of that. I just forgot that I need to call you Craner. Yeah. I heard you call yourself Craner the other day, and I just realised it was Craner.
Nobody's ever asked me why we're called Craner Kirkman. Or have they? I don't know.
We did ask this. but we don't
Did they
know.
give you an answer?
No, we didn't ask you.
Oh, but you asked
We
yourselves.
wondered. Yeah.
I wonder why they're called Craner. What was the initial thought?
We thought it would be like surnames.
Okay.
Like generally, you know, like
That makes sense.
yeah, businesses like you'll see like there's joinery businesses around
Yeah.
us, and it'll be something and something
Yeah.
because the two
Yeah.
the co-founders, that's their surnames.
Yeah.
But
You quickly realise that
we
wasn't
quickly
the case.
realised
Yeah,
that
was
wasn't
or
the
is
case.
it? Yeah.
Well, is there an answer to this?
There is an answer, yeah. Do you
Is
want
it
to know?
logical?
Yeah.
Yes, it is logical.
Okay.
Road names.
Road.
No way.
Yeah, so based on where we live.
Really?
Interesting.
So
It's a good name.
yeah,
But we thought it was surnames.
we sat in a restaurant having breakfast, and we thought, you know, when thinking of a business name, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like your guys just make sense.
Yeah.
I'm guessing your middle name begins with an S.
No.
No, Elliot Sophie. C. Luke
There you go.
LW. Yeah, so that all makes sense. That all makes sense. But yeah, we sat there thinking, Tom's Prep. No, that doesn't work. Tom and Sam's Prep. You go through all these things, and I just had a brainwave of right, that's the name, and we went with it, and it's
Yeah, it does.
It's a good name.
stuck ever since. Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
interested. Did you always pronounce their name correctly?
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah,
Am I the only one who butchers it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll blame my Bristolian
Craner.
roots.
Craner's joined. I was like, who's Craner?
And misbranding from day one.
Yeah, but
So funny.
hey, it's fine. So yeah, that's kind of the story behind us. And tell us about your experience with shipping costs and using our service compared
It's
to
a
UPS.
lot less. Like a lot less.
What UPSs or our services?
Using your services saved us a lot.
Great.
We were
That was the answer I was looking for.
yeah. We were so it's 160 including VAT.
Yeah.
With you on the silver. Disregarding the speed or our own time.
Yeah.
On UPS, and we were using FedEx for dangerous goods.
Yeah.
I think we get the same rate as even if we were in England.
Yeah.
I think we were like touching on over 1,000 on UPS and probably 250 to 300 on FedEx.
Yeah.
A month.
Blimey.
And our UPS last 30 days is 12 quid.
Wow.
So what's that? 172, including VAT, from 1,400.
Next month the cost going up to £700 a month. I'm joking.
So
Tell me
the
too
rest
much
of that
information.
for us is free prep.
Yeah.
That's the way we see it. We're like, it's literally free
Yeah.
prep.
Also, the dangerous goods service you offer is pretty second to none.
Yeah.
You can literally. I tried for a long time, 2-3 months, trying to open up dangerous goods accounts with other couriers when I used to sell prep.
Yeah.
They don't accept new businesses, especially not new small businesses anyway.
Yeah.
So the fact you offer straight to direct Amazon dangerous goods service that's also in stock same day is pretty crazy.
It's the same day thing. I can't even get my head around
No.
it. Because obviously I am out there with the guys of working on shipments and all this and the other, but I also have businessy things to do, like HR. When you're the HR person, the owner, the marketing person, the business development person,
The podcast.
I have the podcast person. You have all these things to do. So I'm often sat in my office just getting on with stuff, and the team are working hard in the background out in the warehouse. And sometimes I'll get home in the evening and have a look, just log into some Seller Central accounts and see what shipments they've had done. And sometimes I see shipment created at 10 a.m. and delivered at 2 p.m. and I'm like, how is that happening? That's crazy.
I remember in summer, I know I do mainly online arbitrage. I had one wholesale deal in the summer that you prepped for me. It was a massive 1,000-unit pallet, and I think it got to you in the morning. You had it prepped by multiple people with 1,000 units, sent back into Amazon. I was in stock by like 8 p.m. and it got delivered at like 10 a.m. in the morning.
It's crazy. I
mental.
even find it crazy. I think
Yeah.
the challenge is keeping ourselves ahead of the game. As everybody knows, we founded that service, and everybody was like, wow, like I've never heard of anything like this before. Incredible. But a lot of people are getting on the bandwagon now. It's like we were talking about earlier, lots of new prep businesses, lots of people trying to be better than each other kind of thing. It's about how we stay ahead of the game and innovation. I always have so many crazy ideas because my background is a marketing background. So every night I go home and go, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? And everybody says, no, Tom, you can't do that. Some things are really out of the box thinking and over the top. It's finding problems that people have and then finding a way to solve those problems. The shipping one was a really easy one to go, okay, well, I'm going to wait for UPS to come. I don't know what time they come in. And when they come, they're going to have enough room on the van. And okay, they've come and collected it. When's it going to get to Amazon? And you sat there waiting. Whereas we've now built a service that's delivered over 1.5 million units that's well known probably by most people in the space. And it's just finding what the next problem is and the solution to that problem. No doubt everybody would then jump on that and spin that to their own. But it's about staying ahead of the game. Keeping customers, you have to stay ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Did you, I think you posted last year, not sure if you still carry on with the service, do TikTok shop fulfillment?
Yes.
Still do that?
Yeah. We're doing it for one customer.
Okay.
That customer has gone a little bit quiet. The beauty of TikTok shop fulfillment is it works very similar to Amazon. So it's a bit more clunky. It's their seller portal is a lot more, you have to log into a 3PL portal, which then links to your seller account, which then you have to upload the SKUs and print the SKUs. And when you print the SKUs, they then print them off in a nice format. You have to resize them and all this, that, and the other. But it's the same principle of their fulfillment centres in Wolverhampton, which actually works well for us when we're going to Coventry and places around the West Midlands. And we delivered into there, and the very same premise, you deliver, they check it in straight away.
Nice. I'm going to put you on the spot, Tom. When you move into your new premise and you're much bigger, when are you going to offer a returns processing service?
To some extent, we do that now on a very small scale, but we do it really badly.
Oh, really? Yeah. That is something that me and Elliot,
I'd say that.
I think so. You'd have to be honest.
Yeah, we do it really badly. I think as a business where we excel is turnaround, accuracy, wanting to look after customers and do nice things for customers. When we took customers to go and watch England at Wembley, giveaways, Christmas presents, all those nice little things. We'd love to do all that. Where we let ourselves down / room for improvement is communication and dealing with things like returns.
Yeah, it's a very meticulous job.
Yeah, it's and if I sit back and go, okay, the team that we've got at the moment, as everybody's got a role. So we've got people that do inbound, we've got people that do outbound, we've got multiple van drivers, and we've got people that do check-in and labelling. Actually, I don't want any of those services to slip to try and slot in a return service that
is that a no?
Is half-hearted. It's not a no. I took very direct. I'm here to ask Craner directly. It's not a no. It's a, if we're going to do it, I want to do it properly.
Yeah, I respect that.
For the customers that we've done it for so far on a very small scale, it's been, it gets put behind the core check-in.
Yeah.
And it's finding time to then process those returns, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very, very time consuming. That's why I would definitely like to potentially outsource that. I'm doing it myself.
It's the, okay, is it new? Is it used? Is it going on eBay? Is it going back onto Amazon? We had one the other day that was an empty bottle of perfume, literally a perfume that it was in the original box and everything, but it was empty.
All refund.
That's so typical. It's just so typical.
I heard a story of someone receiving a chicken in an air fryer before. The chicken's still in the air fryer.
That's just, honestly, some people, consumers are crazy. But it's, again, it's having that two-way relationship, because we also have the challenge of, okay, we've let you know we've got an empty bottle of perfume. That perfume is then going into storage, and then I'm relying on you to tell me what you want me to do with it. And storage space at the moment, that's something that's increased massively in terms of customers wanting to store things long term. The number of customers we've got that's had pallets sat with us for 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
Of stuff.
What's their own
it's
goal?
like replen stuff.
Oh, okay.
But not moved as of yet.
Do you charge storage fees for that?
I charge storage, yeah. £37.50 plus VAT per month.
Okay.
I think any business at our stage of growth now, we're coming on to be over a £500,000 business. Any business at our stage of growth needs to kind of look forwards of ways to expand. And so circling that full circle back to the return thing, yes, it is something I want to offer. Is it innovation? No. Is it creative? No. At the moment, is it more of a headache for us? Yes. But at the same time, do I appreciate that it's something that customers would absolutely love? Yes. If I was going to do it, I'd launch it properly and have a full-time member of staff that just does that across all clients. But yeah, that's kind of the thinking at the moment.
Nice.
I think it would be a great addition.
100%.
Yeah, I know we've spoken about it before. It's definitely something we would use if it was there, especially with if we wanted to move abroad or something. That's one of the only things we can't at the moment outsource. There is solutions. We have looked at some options, but nobody seems to be offering a full package that we would be willing to on board with. That's what I'll say. So although it's not innovation as an idea, I think someone is yet to do it properly would be my view on it. I think when someone does, that would be when I would hop on. And you guys probably could do it, especially with your, I think it would be an interesting thing to try with you guys for sure.
And you know what? Look, you're not the first person that's kind of said to me, this is something we want to explore. So it is something I'll take away and look at options with the many other long list of things that
we'll be pestering you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So when's this coming on?
Let's talk about prep. What was quite nicely full circle to prep, but what stage did you guys go, I need to outsource prep because it's too much for me?
You can answer this one.
Thank you. So probably about a year after doing self-prep, probably a little bit more actually, maybe 18 months. Doing self-prep. I was lucky in the fact that I actually employed someone part-time. Where my office is at home, I have outside shed space. So you sort of store a lot of things in there. Used to help me 1 or 2 days a week with prep. What a headache though. I was having to obviously do my sourcing, and then the bell was going, delivery, 10 minutes later, bell's going, delivery, 10 minutes later, bell's going, delivery. My parents at one point were like, you need to stop this. So I ended up going to prep center. Even when I got office space, it was still, I still have to be there and take the deliveries. So it was an absolute nightmare. So 18 months went with yourself. So you were the first prep center I went with as well. So
I don't think I ever asked you this question. Where did you hear about us and what made you choose us?
I saw you on Twitter, I believe.
It
was actually what sold it to me was your drone flyover of your unit. I don't know why. I just really liked it. It seemed very professional compared to all the other sites. Your website is very well done, and you also have a
That's awesome.
Do you think so? I thought it was quite good compared to other sites. It's just
I think the website's awful. That's where
I think the website's quite good.
Yeah.
A lot of the prep businesses we've looked at of websites are like awful, but your website is
no
good.
photos on there. We've got no. I don't want to over promote ourselves. I want the customers that I want through our door. I want them to be there because they've heard about us from someone else, or they come off a really good recommendation. Because actually, we pride ourselves in that. And actually, if we're getting customers because they've had a recommendation from you guys or whoever, I'm guessing you heard about us from Luke.
Yeah. We were with another prep center, and then
were they any good?
They were. There was no direct Amazon offering. That was a massive drag. It was actually Luke that even put us onto the idea of a prep center. Before we were speaking as much with Luke as we do now. Luke said, "Have you ever thought about a prep center?" But we weren't at that. We weren't speaking enough that it would be like, "Oh, what one are you using?" Etc. So we came on with a prep center. I won't say the name. They were good, to be fair. There were some mistakes and there were some issues there. So that was one of the reasons we looked elsewhere. And when we were using the prep center, I'm saying we were using a prep center, it was maybe 5% of our goods. And then it was a conversation with Luke. We'd probably still be self-prepping now and probably would have struggled. We would have bottlenecked our scale. And Luke said, this just does not make sense. How much we were spending on UPS, FedEx, time. We were losing a Monday from a weekend of prep. It just didn't make sense. So we moved with you, and I think we barely hit the ground running. We sent you like something like 6,000 units in the
Yeah.
first couple of
I
weeks.
think last month you were at 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah. So
Which is
everything, we've prepped nothing since.
Yeah.
Basically
Which
nothing.
frees you up to go to Thailand and do
Yeah.
nice things.
Yeah. I think it's about working on the business rather than in it.
Yeah.
If we can outsource stuff, I now have that mentality of, a bit like we were speaking about the returns process.
Yeah.
If that's something you bring on, because we've got a good relationship with you now, we would trust that that's something we could outsource with you. That allows us to work on the business of scaling, whether that's bringing on staff or spending more money or scaling up our spend or any of the above. Working on it is going to grow it rather than working in it.
Yeah,
and that's what the
100%.
prep, outsourcing the prep's done for us.
And what do you think, if you had a new seller that was doing it themselves, what would be the point that you would say outsource your prep?
It's a good question. Do you have a criteria for this?
I spoke on it briefly earlier. It depends on their circumstance.
Yeah.
Again, so if you're spending too much time, if you work a full-time job, you're spending too much time prepping units. You're spending 3, 4, 5 evenings or your weekends prepping, where you could be sourcing and putting more money into the business.
Yeah.
You need to go with a prep center. But if you're finding you're spending every single pound and then you're waiting until that next disbursement comes, so then in that time you're then prepping, stay self-prepping, doesn't make sense to go to a prep center. When you get to that point where you're like, right, I'm losing time now where I could be sourcing, it's opportunity cost.
Yeah.
If you're prepping, not sourcing, you're losing out on scaling, without a doubt.
How would you choose a prep center? Pretend I'm not here. How would you, if you were...
If I was starting at new, it would have to be through social media.
Yeah.
What other people are, who other people are using, good due diligence. Do you have a Trustpilot or anything like that?
No, but that's a really good idea.
Okay.
What we used to do is Google reviews and ask customers to leave us a Google review. And it was really great. We had a really great period of customers leaving us nice Google reviews, which is good. So yeah, Trustpilot, I completely agree. It's something we're definitely going to look at, and actually it's a good way to encourage customers.
I think that would be a go-to if I was starting fresh, because I seem to do that with suppliers. I think the first thing I do is go, right, supplier name, Trustpilot. So
yeah,
I think I'd use the same process in I was trying to find a prep center again.
So I might set that, and that's what I'm going to set up this afternoon.
Okay,
cool.
I will.
So yeah, it's a really interesting journey that we're on, and exciting at the same time.
What makes you the best in the scene?
It's a good question. Best is a really difficult word. I like to think we are the most innovative prep business out there, and it all comes back to that innovation piece. When we set up, I said we were the best and we could do 24-hour turnarounds and we did all this, that, and the other. And don't get me wrong, we did all that and it was all really great. But as I said earlier, new people are coming onto the scene. It's having the personal approach with people. I see all of my customers as partners. Anyone is welcome to come around anytime and have a look around. As part of that, we'll take you out for dinner, or we'll have lunch, or we'll do something nice. We'll come and do a podcast. And I think that partnership approach makes us stand out from the rest. Don't get me wrong, I see lots of posts on social media and Discord groups of, we are the best because we're the cheapest, or we are the best because we have lots of well-established customers, or we've been going 10 years, or whatever it might be. But that doesn't make someone the best. I think the approach and relationship with customers is number one. Because actually, if I know you on a personal level and you know me on a personal level, you know that we will do a good job for you. But then the innovation piece, such as CK Logistics, there ain't any other prep business running 3 vehicles out on the road 18 hours a day. Like the other night, I get a text at 11 o'clock at night saying, just leave an XLP1. The driver got back at 1:30 in the morning, 1:45 in the morning. There's no other prep business doing that. We don't have to do that. You know what? By employing another driver to do night shifts, technically your cost should have gone up as a CK Logistics member, because actually we're doing more to get your goods in quicker. Have we done that? No. We've took the hit, and actually we've done that to make customers feel better and to get their stock in quicker. It's little things like that that make people subconsciously go, wow, they're a great business to work with. There's always going to be competition. There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be curveballs. But as long as we stay ahead of the game and we work as hard as we can to A, make our current client base feel good about themselves and know that we're doing a good job for them, and B, grow the business and employ people with a view of, when I employ people into the business, I say to them, look, I'm not looking for someone who's looking for a job. I'm looking for someone who believes in the business and sees a future with a business that's growing and progressive and has new ideas. And it's about driving that mentality in the workplace as well, that staff feel valued, staff feel like they want to come to work every day. Tonight, we're all going out for dinner. I'm bringing 2 members of the team because I want them to experience something like that and meet customers. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't just be me meeting customers, it should be them as well. And they should get to know people, because actually then you're messaging the people on the shop floor
every day. Yeah.
You know who they are, and
Mm.
you've met them and you've built that interpersonal relationship with them. So does that make us the best? I don't know. It'd be very big-headed to say that makes us the best. But if other people subconsciously think that makes us the best, then I'm really proud of that.
It's ironically a very Amazon approach to the way that it sounds like you deal with customers. Amazon's always customer first
Yes.
in most scenarios.
Yes, I would also say it's Amazon are a very corporate business, and this is where I've always kind of come in, and I have a marketing background. My background is marketing agency and working with global brands and retailers and doing it very successfully in the role that I had before starting Craner, or Craner, as Luke likes to call it.
All right. Never again.
And it was that approach of, okay, I don't want to be a corporate business. When you come into my building, you will see the neon sign on the wall and a nice wooden floor, and you'll come into my office and we'll sit on the sofa and have a chat, and there'll be music playing all day, every day, and we go out with the team and we do nice things and social events and all this, that, and the other. And that's bringing a little bit of marketing agency and creative Tom into what is a logistics environment. And you don't see that very often. You don't go to many warehouses and they've got music playing, and any of the guys can come into my office for a chat or take a phone call or whatever needs to happen. And I want that culture to reflect on our business and how we operate as a business and how we treat customers and treat our staff and partners of the business as well. That felt very deep.
I think it's very rare to have that close knit community with your own employees, because you see online people say how they hate their boss, they hate their work, etc. I imagine the culture at club business is different to that.
People like to come to work. It's really difficult, and we were talking about this internally the other day, in that, you know, people that run services businesses, so whether it be a marketing agency or you do web design or something like that, actually you can go into work tomorrow, I don't know, you might be hungover or you might be tired or not feeling it, and you could put in a half-hearted effort, and actually if that website's not done tomorrow, come in the next day, give 110%, and the website's done. In this kind of business, it's non-stop. Actually, the team cannot come in and say, oh, today we're going to put in a half-hearted effort, because there might be, on average, we get 1,000 to 2,000 boxes delivered a day into C&K. Actually, that has to be done. So for me, it's how do you motivate those employees to come into work with that positive mindset every day? Like you tend to find a lot of these other prep businesses as well run 9 to 5 operations, and then when it comes to 5 o'clock, everything just goes into the next day. I run an operation where if it gets to 5 o'clock, every single one of my team, and you can ask them tonight, every single one of them will stay if they need to. Matt, Jordan, they will stay till, if I say I need you to stay till 11 o'clock every night this week because it's going to be busy, they'll work 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and not complain.
Wow. That's rare to find employees like that as well.
And all of them in the team will do it, and I don't force them. Most times I don't even ask them. They'll come to me and say, it's busy, you're right if we stay till 11. I'm like, yeah, absolutely fine. But in return, I might buy them dinner, or if people give to me, I will always give back. So, you know what? Jordan needs to leave at 11:30 the other day to go to Scotland. That's fine. But it's the culture of
Mm.
that is fine, and I want people to feel that they can come to work, and I want them to feel part of the business and excited for the growth of the business.
Yeah.
Because everybody who's part of the business now will achieve great success as the business grows. In my old job, the people that have been there from the beginning were all driving Ferraris and living the high life. And okay, I would love that. If Nat in the warehouse has a Ferrari in 15 years' time, amazing.
Yeah.
It's a very cliche thing to say, but I want them to share in the success of the business. I want us to become a global business. I want us to take the foundations of C&K and expand it however we can. So I was talking to some prep businesses in Dubai, in Spain, and trying to do cross learnings there and how we can help each other and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we are.
Super interesting.
Very impressive.
What's the ambitions for you two? Is it to continue at the levels you are? Have you got a plan to do more substantiated growth? What is the?
I think
idea?
it's definitely room for growth. We know that because we were talking about earlier. We've networked a little bit with other sellers. We see other people's results.
Yeah.
I know on your podcast you had Flipping at 30 on episode 2.
Yeah.
And his results are like £3 million in a year, something like that, potentially a little bit more. And he's a majority OA as well. So we see that and we're like, right, we're here, he's here. There's definitely room for us to get here.
Yeah,
then when we get there, then maybe start looking at maybe US. We're looking at the US as well. The US potentially is a avenue to go down.
Yeah.
We see some sellers doing really high ROI in the US. So you could build capital up really nicely there whilst running your UK business.
Yeah.
So there's so many different scopes to go down. Even private label potentially.
Yeah.
Do you have any private label customers?
No.
None.
We used to.
Yeah.
But they took it all in-house eventually.
Got you. You get too big too quick.
Yeah, that's the challenge you have in this kind of industry.
Yeah.
As people grow, they want to take the operation in-house and do it themselves.
Yeah.
But no, it's an exciting time. Would you agree with what Luke said in terms of growth?
Yeah, I think so. I think we would. Yeah, we've spoken a little bit about the US. I think the US has got a lot of untapped market there. But the UK, I think there's a lot of people falling off.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know how much integrity there is with a lot of the sellers. I hear a lot of people whinging, complaining.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I know, especially with the whole Section 3 Horizon thing, you are running a business with an Amazon knowing Amazon are not as squeaky as they probably should be.
Yeah.
And if they put out a piece of legislation and you follow it, Amazon might not let you always work just with it. So we know that, and that's something that we are aware of. So we would like to build something with our own IP as well.
What's interesting about the Section 3 thing in particular is a few of our customers were served one of them, unfortunately. And they asked for support from us they've asked about who does your prep and this, that and the other. We provided them with a document, and the very same day that we provided that document, the Section 3 got lifted. Which again comes back to the reputation piece and having a good reputation in the space and working with Amazon.
Yeah.
So
we talked about it earlier in private. I had a couple of your proof of delivery forms work first time for reimbursements. Got full reimbursements.
Yeah.
No problem at all. So.
But it comes back to having an established service. Anyone can get a van and deliver into Amazon. I'll honestly say anyone can. You go and buy a van, you can turn up at Amazon and deliver. That isn't an established service. And that's no discredit to anybody that's done that. But getting a van and saying we are delivering to Amazon is not an established service. And the challenges with that will arise the second you deliver 15 grand's worth of stock into Amazon for a customer and Amazon don't check it in. That's a potential business sinking scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So people just need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
But we're growing our CK logistics service from strength to strength. We're in conversations with Amazon directly to launch, I can't say too much, to launch a new part of that service, which I might tell you about off camera. But lots of exciting things around the corner. And the beauty of being able to talk to Amazon directly is we know what's coming, they know what's coming, and it's a true partnership.
Brilliant. Excited to see how big you can grow this.
I'm very excited too.
Yeah.
So who's Tom? Not Tom Craner.
Or Craner, as Luke says.
Yeah, Craner, as Luke says. Who is Tom? Who's Tom? Who are you? Why explore this avenue of something that's so intense? It's something you obviously didn't need to do. You had a great role before, from what you've said.
Mm.
Why all this? What?
I've always wanted to run my own business. I think that's a really important thing to say. And I think, where do you kind of find a business that works, that you can get customers, and that you can drive it to the success that we've drove Craner to? I think as I said in the previous podcast, we ran an FBA business before even looking at Craner. User Prep Centre weren't very good, said we could do this better. And yeah, I don't need the stress, but I enjoy the stress at the same time. Running a business and having a team and being able to meet new people and having a mission to grow the business is huge, and I get a thrill off that. I've got a very supportive family, a wife, an 8-year-old daughter. My dad's also heavily invested and business partner in the business as well. And it's really, really enjoyable. I don't have to do it. I could easily go back tomorrow and be back into the marketing world, working with global brands, but I've always said I'd never work for someone else again. It's I really enjoy working for myself and having a team and growing a business from the ground up. And as I say earlier, innovation is the key. And how do we next innovate? It's all thinking about the next idea and how we grow the business. I've learned a lot about business from some very successful people. And yeah, I'm just really excited for kind of what's around the corner. If that answers your question.
Yeah. That's
I can definitely relate to that massively with working now. I thought when I first went into business, I'd be like, oh, we'll have all this time on my hands, all this freedom. It's the complete opposite of what you actually expect. I went from working 5 days a week in a normal job, 8 till 5 on construction, to now longer hours every single day now. But it doesn't feel like work. I'm not clock watching. I love it. It's just when you find something you enjoy, I don't know, it gives you a bit of a
keep doing it. Yeah,
100%. It doesn't feel like work at all. It's real.
I've really enjoyed the chat, gents. Thank you for coming down.
Of course.
Talking to me about your journey, asking me questions as well. And we must do it again. I'm looking forward to this evening as well.
Yeah.
And coming to look around Craner and meet the team, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing my products.
Yeah. You'll label it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, but thank you. And
thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you, Tom.
See you soon.